All right, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. Gonna tell me. Right. So, my dear, we are going live this afternoon. I'm really excited. Facebook
Right.
family, you guys know when I come here, I was trying to come here with something good. I was coming to try to edify you. And see the lady next to me? Let me introduce the world to Carla Williams Johnson. Listen, 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 listen. This is my friend, um, LinkedIn buddy. I have watched her grow. She is, let me tell you, entrepreneur, businesswoman, media specialist, and the founder of Carly Communications. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, Carla. How are you doing, Carla?
I am fabulous. As always, I am very fabulous. Thank you for having me on your
Listen, it's my
program.
pleasure. It's my pleasure because I remember 2 years ago when I mentioned this in our group, and the young man who was up there talking about when he started his podcast and videocast. And I said, you know what, I have to do it. And as I said, I had a little tragedy in between that kept me
Hmm.
off, but I actually used this to bounce back.
That's how it is. That's
That,
what
yeah,
you're
that's what
supposed
I
to
did.
do. That's
I
what you're
used
supposed to
it to
do.
bounce back, and I started in Network University, the YouTube channel, and this new podcast, videocast with CEOs, young CEOs that I've taken under my wing, and I'm grooming them, right? Because
Do you consider me a young CEO? Because
that's
I'm
why
loving,
you're here.
I'm loving that. I'm loving the fact
CEO,
that you think that I'm
young CEO.
young.
People, look at this woman. Look at this woman. You will not believe this is a busy mother as well as a busy businesswoman.
Yeah, yeah, I am. I am.
Okay, Carla, listen. Let me not take the floor anymore. Let me let you tell us your why and your story. Mike is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who's out there and who may be watching this on the replay. Happy International Women's Day to all our female viewers as well. So, as mentioned, I am Carla William Johnson. Everyone calls me Carly because my business, Carly Communications, helps business owners and entrepreneurs increase their visibility through the creative usage of the media. And by media, I mean not just social media, but also traditional media as well. So we're talking, podcasts like this. We're talking about TV. We're talking about radio. Just today, I did my tour. I was all over the place. Literally. So, guys, if I can do it, you can do it too. And what I really want to show people, especially we're so bound down by our borders, our physical borders, our mental borders, and we don't realize that we have so much to give. We don't realize we have so much to say. There are people out there who just love us and absolutely need what it is that we have. And if we just if we're just willing to put ourselves out there more and embrace our uniqueness, I mean, we could do anything. We could literally take over the world like I am, right? And
Yeah,
just to
I
give
like
you, and just to give you an example, like for a very long time, I told myself, "Oh my God, I look different, I sound different." People say we have this sing-song voice when we talk, but when I decided to put myself out there, that was the thing that people loved. They loved my voice. They loved my accent. They couldn't get enough of it. They love my lifestyle. They love the Caribbean vibes. They love it, and that has taken me to Forbes, to Huffington Post, to Tribe Global, to BuzzFeed, to Authority Magazine. I have been to India and China and Australia virtually because of COVID, right? Virtually. But my point is, and once you embrace that uniqueness and you realize, hey, I have something to offer, people will love you for it, and better yet, they will pay you for it.
boom. That's where you go. I have this cute little emoji now that I like to put up for shizzle and nizzle. No, seriously, people, we as Caribbean people, one of our attributes is our culture and how we display
Definitely.
that culture internationally when we talk to people, when we interact with
Definitely.
people.
Definitely.
Um, my one drawback to the culture is always that sometimes our people let the culture overtake, what should I say, the intellect to a point, and they
I
lock
agree with
themselves
that.
down in a, yeah, they're laid back, they're lazy, they're not
Yes.
willing to take a chance. They
Yes.
fall victim to all the things, Carly, that we were told, hang your hat where your hand can reach, blah 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 blah.
And most recently, people are saying, oh, Trinidad is not a real place. I hate that statement. I do. Because with everything going on with the US when Mr. Mann was in charge, right? No one
Mm,
ever said America is not a real place. So why are we constantly making ourselves invisible? Why are we constantly shrinking
good
ourselves
question.
down? Right? Why are we constantly holding ourselves back? Statements like that take roots. They take root and they
Yes,
grow. And if you keep saying those things that Trinidad is not a real place, that means you're not a real person. And that's not true. You are very real and you have a lot to offer the world. So, I understand completely what you say when people have they let the culture take over. But what I want for Caribbean people to understand is forget culture is very important. Don't get me wrong, right?
yes.
Me pushing my culture and my soca music and all of that has got me on the map. But don't
True.
let it get you to the point where you fall into the laziness of it. Really
Hmm.
start to be focused and productive with what you have to do.
That's right. You see that one word productive
Productive.
because I looked at the whole picture and I looked at what was available to the people
Mm-hmm.
and who really wanted to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
When I started, I remember sometimes I seen 500 people. I got 1,000 people. They didn't show reacting. But when I looked at the flags, there were only about 20 flags. And it's been a
Wow.
year now since I've been on air, live and pre-recorded. And I launched the YouTube channel in 19th of February because
Uh-huh.
that was my birthday. I turned 60, and I
Wow.
tell people, I look at young people wasting lives on TikTok and Instagram and Periscope and Snapchat, and they're broken in Ocala. They
Well,
are
that's the thing.
broke.
I mean, you have to learn how to. I mean, these things are tools, right? These are all tools, and you need to know how to use these tools to build your business and to build yourself and to educate yourself, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
there's a party everywhere, right? You could have a party in your own room, just put on some
Hmm.
music videos on YouTube and dance. But you could also put on educational videos on YouTube and learn something, right? You can
This is for
always
sure.
find a way to use the tools that are at your
Mhm.
disposal to build your business. And you will find people who will say things like, why are you bothering with that? Who you feel you is? What you doing? You're wasting time. You'll always find people like that. But understand where to draw the line with those people. I'm not telling you not to talk to them again, but understand where to draw the line. Because your vision and their vision is two different things. And that's what you
Clearly,
always have to remember.
clearly. Because here's the kicker with my online university that's been running for an entire year now. It's free.
Yeah,
It's free. Because
yeah,
I know I could turn it into audiobooks and sell it later on, but I want to give you it free. I grew up hearing Confucius says it is better to pass on to others what one has learned for oneself.
mm-hmm,
My mentor, Robert Kiyosaki, in an email says, if you take that what you're passionate about and share it with the world, you don't have to worry about wealth. It will find you.
definitely. And
And
then
that's
the
what,
thing is, what you're saying is very true. And I applaud you for it. But I also want to make a very important point. Free also has to have a strategy behind it. Just giving your stuff for free is good, but it must be to build relationships. It must be to build a community of your people, not of just anybody, right? This is not a fact, right? This is not a fact, right? It must be let me lead my team or my tribe or my community to this sale or this program or this package or this whatever. So free, now I don't want people to think that free is right because I mean,
I understand you clearly.
right, but you must have a plan. Free must have a plan because you will get yourself giving away stuff all the time and not getting any returns. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going on with you. I'm just talking in general for
Yeah.
entrepreneurs and business owners out there. You don't want to feel like you're giving and giving and you're not getting. And that's what happens if you give without a plan behind it. That's why there are people like me to help you figure that out.
Check her out. She's on LinkedIn. You can find her easily.
Yes.
But just before we go into one of your favorites, based on what you just said, yes, you see the plan is everyone in my network
Mm-hmm.
gets free,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm packaging it for everyone else outside of that. I have roughly about give or take 120,000 people in my network,
Mhm.
right? So I believe this. Uh, in order for me to really prosper and grow, I have to dedicate myself so that they could prosper and grow. I need to build them. It's
Agreed.
by building them. I build myself. When they are prospering, they're part of we are connected. Because, Carla, you tell me you agree with this. When we're disconnected all over the place, we all over, we have very little power. But when we are
Agreed.
connected, I've fallen in love with this little quote. Uh, when spiders unite, they can tie up a lion.
Okay, so here's the
Connected, we
thing,
have power.
right? I am deathly afraid of spiders. So although
No,
I
I
get
just
where
don't
you're
have it.
going, I get where you're going, but let's not use spiders.
But no, hey, it's reported speech, it's not mine. But the thing is, when we are connected, you'll be in business for yourself, but never by yourself.
There we go. That is fun. That's a fabulous statement right there.
And that's what our network is all about. You see, people
Mm-hmm.
fear network marketing, but that
Mm,
is what the wealth really is. But
mm-hmm.
it's not about us. I can't remember. I mean, we're talking, we're friends, we haven't seen each other for a while, right? So let's get into ladies, happy International Women's Day. And happy, is it still History Month for women,
Yes,
or is that
Women's History Month.
History Month
Yes,
because that's
we're
Black
still in
History Month?
History Month.
Yes, and Women's History Month. Carla, tell us about that. Tell us about it. Because when I saw that piece you put, I had to respond. And before Carla jumps in, let me tell you part of my response. It was, for me, the most powerful creature, use the word, on the planet is female. Check every species, be it
Yes.
ants, be it lions, be it us. But the lie that women have had to suffer
Yep.
eons. Carla, I have every rib I was born with. You are equal to me everywhere, right? And as I tell people, if they really truly understand the message, uh, women are the procreators. They were given all the gifts, which is why you hated so much and all the battle with the Garden of Eden. You are the procreators of this planet. I say, take away all the
So
females from
true.
every species and you tell me how long this planet will survive because I cannot do what you do. Okay? The gift of
Yeah.
science and social sciences and medicine and women were given such an in-depth gift of medicine. A lot of them were burnt at the stake and called witches, weren't they, Carla?
Yes, they were. I actually read something about that very recently,
Listen,
and
all you
it
have to
was
do,
yeah.
Spanish Inquisition. We do that for A levels here in the Caribbean, folks. Spanish Inquisition. This is what you're doing for literature.
Mm,
King Henry VIII will tell you when he wanted to marry the young chick. And he stabbed the Pope and burned down the church and formed the Anglican Church. He say, hey,
yeah.
you this is Doc's blood, this is a business. To understand it and persecuting women, but I applaud women because I know without you ladies, we will not survive. So
Thank you
now
so
with that
much.
said, let Carla tell us about her history month.
Well, I'm in love with the fact that this is now, this is not something we have ever spoken about before. Yes, we've spoken about International Women's Day and stuff, but I'm so happy that International History Month, Women's History Month, is coming to the forefront because a lot of women have been doing a lot of great things, and we're kind of just like overshadowed by so many different things, right? And then we've come up with so many negative things against us, right? So men are seen as assertive while women are seen as oppressive, right? We're always being measured by the negative way of doing things.
If you do,
Even
if you don't,
yeah, and even like even when people say, "Oh, I don't like to work with a lot of women because they're too emotional or they're too this or they're too that," I prefer to work with men and stuff like that. And I mean, these things come from women too, right? These things come from women, not just men. And I think what happens is that we've been told for so long that being feminine is just not good. It's just like it's some sort of defect, So we always have to try that much harder and do that much more. And yeah, I remember when I was working in the agency world, like we just had to dress up like the heels, our hair back, and just to be taken seriously. And even then, it's how you phrase your statements and how you say certain things before people even take notice of what it is that you say. And that's hard. That's a hard life to live. That is a very hard life to live. So I'm
women,
happy that women now are realizing that we don't need to shrink anymore. We don't need to keep quiet.
No,
right?
no.
We're here, we're coming out,
Deal with it.
make room, right? And if you
Deal
have a
with it.
problem, step aside, right? And I love that's what's going on with women. And it's no longer the angry black woman, it's the assertive and powerful black woman. And I love it. I love what it is that I'm seeing. And I mean, I've had to deal with a lot. I'm not gonna lie, especially in my industry. When I first came in, I was in the wrong gender and I was in the wrong color, hands down. That's what I was told by many people, right? In this industry, I was just the wrong person. I don't know where I was supposed to fit, just not in this, right? And that took a toll on me. That took a toll on me. Throw in the fact that I'm in a third world country, that took a toll on me, and I was afraid. I was afraid that I wouldn't be taken seriously. I was afraid that people wouldn't accept me. I was afraid that I didn't belong, right? And as I said, that's a hard life. I'm not built like this. And I know there are a lot of women out there who've been told for so long you need to be seen and not heard. And they
Mm.
still fall into that thing. So I want to tell those women who have heard that you need to take that whatever wherever you heard it from and just get it out of your mind because that's not true. You deserve to be heard and you deserve to be seen and you deserve to build a business and build the life that you want, which is exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. I just threw it away, threw it over my shoulder. It was hard work, don't get me wrong. Threw it over my shoulder. And look at me today. I'm Forbes famous. Literally, I've been in Forbes. I've been all over the world as I mentioned before. And that's because I decided that this is what I wanted for my life and for my children. And this is the legacy I want to leave for them. Just the other day, my daughter told me, she's like, Mommy, I'm so proud of you. You're such an inspiration to women everywhere. Yesterday, she told me that. And I was like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, I love that because I'll tell you something. That was powerful. I I believe that the one mistake and the biggest mistake women made, which haunts them today, is when you remember burning their bra for the right to vote.
Yeah.
They should have just stood up that we have the right to vote. Oh yeah, seriously. I listen. I have worked with so many women. I've never had a problem with a female boss. As a matter of fact, when you look at countries around the world led by women, peaceful, prosperous, people are genuinely happy.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, because that nurturing, that motherly, protective instinct. But I tell you this, folks, if you all feel men aggressive, really, test a
Oh
female.
yeah.
Trust me, the female species, why I think the male lion just lies down there? He ain't that
Yeah.
fool that
Yeah.
I ain't getting between them girls. Okay?
Yeah. Well, he
They do it.
knows, he
Right?
understands, right? He
Yeah.
understands.
Can't do
And
what
the
they do.
worst thing I hate to hear is when men say, you're too emotional. Yeah, I'm emotional if you get me vexed. I must
I'm
be
an
upset if you get me
emotional man.
vexed.
I do business.
Right.
You don't cry in front of anyone, Tara.
Yeah, if I get somebody else like, would they be emotional too? They will be filled with rage, which is an emotion. So don't tell me I'm too emotional because then I'll get more vexed. And then I will really be emotional and then we'll have a problem.
Yeah, yeah. I like how you said because I tell people, listen, I have a very short fuse, but it's very hard to light. But if it's lit,
Yeah.
run.
Run.
I said, and
Yeah.
they need, and I say, women, listen to me. This is 2021. That crap cannot work in 2021.
Mm-mm.
Because you see, here why is again problems with, right? And I always admit, hey, I'm the eldest of five boys from a mother who went through hell and high water for us.
Mm.
Husband. Okay? So I'm in touch with my feminine side because many times I put myself in front to protect my mother until the brunt of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you will not touch my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let me tell you something. We need to truly appreciate women more. You see the
Agree.
kind of murders and the kind of horrible acts that are perpetrated against women, and sometimes it just goes "Well, under the rug." That gets so under my
I
skin. And
have a theory on that. I have a theory on that. And I don't think it and don't
be free.
my theory is this. While I do agree that these men are terrible and need to be held accountable, right? I do agree with that. But my thing is this: these men were not born this way. They weren't born this way. We created these people by the very things that we
I
do,
agree.
and I'll tell you why. When my daughter was born, the first thing everyone said is, oh, she'll have plenty boyfriends. When my son was born, oh, you have plenty girls. You have just reduced an entire gender to a commodity that must be
That's right.
collected
That's right.
from birth, from birth. And then there are little things over time that, solidifies it. Men must be aggressive. Men mustn't show emotion. Men mustn't this. Men mustn't that. Women must do this. Women must do that. Beings having a feminine side or crying or showing anything that is inherently female is seen as a weakness. So men don't want to be seen as weak. So they tend to be more aggressive and we encourage them to take what they want. And then throw in other factors, lifestyle, community, whatever. What do you think is going to happen? What
Mm-hmm.
you have taught them from small that women are a commodity to be
But,
collected. What do you
but
think is going to happen when they get older?
I
Now,
hear you.
I'm not making any excuses here. These
No,
people
no,
are
I understand.
terrible. But
That's
we
a
need
fact of
we
life.
need to dig deep. Where is the problem? The problem is not when they get big. The problem is when something in even our culture. I mean, look at what we do. Look, I mean, just carnival. I mean, I love carnival. I don't get me wrong. I love it. I love everything
Good.
about carnival. But let's look at what it is, right?
That's
It carnival is woman. What does that even mean? What does that mean?
well, oh God, I shame.
What does
But
that mean? But
but but
carnival
guess
is
what,
really
Carla?
woman.
Guess what? Guess what? COVID kind of cured that this season. There are no
Well,
carnival days except we make it home.
it cured it. I wouldn't say it cured it.
So that's what it is.
It gave it some medicine and it's showing a little symptoms. But my point is, I agree that these men are terrible, but I do feel like we need to dig deeper. We need to go deep. We need to go back. Our culture is one of disrespect towards men. I cannot walk down the street eating an ice cream cone without somebody telling me something. I'm telling you,
Yes,
you
yes, I have to
can't.
agree with you there.
Yeah, you can't
The
bend down and
disrespectful.
fix something. You can't bend down and fix something up without somebody telling you something, and that's just normal. That
And
can
look at that.
never be normal.
Without now, I like how you say that because here we are. I am interviewing high profile people, but listen carefully because as an individual stripped down of the title, she suffers the same indignities that
Ah,
every other woman does, and that needs to change. Okay, somebody send this to the government. That needs to change.
yeah.
Something
Yeah,
needs to be done.
I
Well,
agree. And I feel like no one is having that conversation. We're telling women what not to do. We're even saying things like, "Oh, don't tell women what to do. Tell men not to do so so so." Okay, fine, but let's go deeper. That's not the problem. We done beg already. We beg. We all. Some people just set in their ways. Some people just need to be taken to asylum and dealt with. They don't beg and they, oh, what about the ones that are coming up? Let's
that's
deal
where
with
we need to
that.
start.
Yeah, let's deal with
And
that.
what does it need? Leadership. And
Good
leadership
leadership.
starts at home. Remember, fathers, those kids look at you. Everything you do, they emulate. If you, listen, don't think for a minute. I have 5 boys. You think it's easy? I clash because it's something I want from you. I always tell them, see this jacket? Could wash. See this polo? Could wash. Face? Could wash. CADIZ Cadiz could never go in the laundromat. Don't dirty my name.
Don't
And I'm
dirty
proud
it.
of my 5 boys. And
Don't
with that, I
dirty
will
it.
ask you, tell us how, as such a busy person, you juggle that life of business, travel with family.
Can I tell you I don't know how I do it? Because that's the truth. I really don't. I swear to you guys, I don't know how I do it. So let me tell you something
Oh,
about me,
you're
right?
not helping my CEOs.
I
Tell us
swear
something.
I don't know how I do it. So let me tell you all my situation, right? In addition to my clients and my business, I have two kids. My kids are 18 years apart. My daughter is 20, my son is 2. I have no idea how that happened. None. None at all, right? So I now have to deal with a 20-year-old who, because of COVID, can't go anywhere and she's dying to go out. And I have a son who is just mummying me and baby sharking me to death, right? So, and this is a daily
Next is
occurrence,
full.
right? This is a daily
Next is full.
occurrence, right? Baby sharking me to death, right? So, what I do or how I handle it is I have to set my day. I have to set my day. And I say, okay, for this day, I'm doing these three things. Whatever these three things are, I must get them done. And that is set the night before. I cannot do it in the morning because I will just not have no time. And then every morning, as a rule, I have to meditate and journal. The day I don't meditate and journal is the day everything goes
Okay.
totally
Okay.
astray. So I
That's
get
amazing.
up, yeah, I meditate, I get my mind right, I journal, and this is in the dead of night when everybody's still sleeping, right? So meditate, I get my mind right, and
Yes.
then I start my day, right? And sometimes I might only get one or two out of the three things done. I consider that a success, right?
Mhm.
Because between the two of them, I mean, sometimes the big one just get on like the little one, and the little one is down like the big one. I mean, it just depends on the day of the week and the time of the day, right?
Looking like my house.
Yeah, they're the weekend time of the day, right? So imagine a 20-year-old getting on like a 2 year old and a 2 year old telling you, no, mommy, and going about his business, right? So that's my line. But the thing is, we're all a work in progress, right? That's what works for me, right?
Mhm.
That's what works for me. In your household, it may be different, but I do encourage you to take that time for yourself. More like I do it every morning. You may not be able to. It may be a once a week thing, right? It may be, you know what, I'm going to take Sunday, and Sunday is going to be my self care day, and Sunday I'm going to just take a break from the kids. I'm going to, take a trip
Mhm.
to the beach. I'm going to take a long drive, whatever it is, but you need that time for yourself, and you have to schedule that time like your life depends on it because it does. Just like you schedule your other appointments and you schedule your doctor's appointments and you schedule your clients and all of that, schedule
Hmm.
self care because it is very important. You will burn out so fast if you don't.
Oh wow, tell us a burnout. I got close to that, and it takes a toll on your physique as well,
It's a toll on
mentally,
everything,
and nothing
everything.
seems to connect. Everything seems to be aggravating. All of a sudden, everything becomes noise. So yes, and we talk about that a lot. Being able to take personal time, because my network. I mean, you talk about we are on a drive, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We on a drive, and what we call we on a success drive, because we see in the back of me and all that, we are into everything from cryptocurrency to virtual reality. We are doing it all. um, but we the leaders, the same CEOs who are going to be looking at this interview next week Sunday, they have to know that you need to be able to slow down, you need to be able to dress back, you need time for fall, because the people we actually doing it for, we still need to dress back because we'll burn ourselves out doing it for them, and then we don't accomplish the ultimate goal, leaving the legacy, the
Exactly.
footprint, the intergenerational wealth. So yeah, well, Carla,
Agreed.
promise that we was going to be short, but we had such a good time. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing this out at you, and you know what is coming. Tell us, because we ourselves, because of the type of business we're in, we
Mhm.
also need to know how to respond to our customer situation, our merchant situation. And it was interesting for me to see you talking about being able to impress your clients on a low budget.
Yeah.
That
I totally get it. I totally get, we have time and we have energy on our side, but money seems to be a little low, especially with what's going on in the world, and that's completely understandable. But you can still build your business on a budget. First things first, social media. I know everyone out here is just in love with Facebook, just in love. It is what it is, but you have to have a strategy behind it, have a
yes.
plan, have a content plan. Don't be posting in a vacuum. Don't be posting things only that you have to sell. Use social media to build relationships. Yes, it takes time, but it makes sense in the long run because you get to retain your customers instead of having to go find new ones all the time. So use social media to build that relationship, share stories about yourself. Many times when I use on social media and I share like my journey and my stories and the things that I'm dealing with, those are the things that get the most engagement. Those are the things that make people pick up the phone and book their free consultation with me. So don't be afraid to share your story. Another thing you can do is if you love to write, you can blog. Blog about your life, blog about what you do, blog about how you help people, blog about a customer that was satisfied with whatever it is that you gave them. Just write from your knowledge and experience. People appreciate that. If you're not much of a writer and you prefer to do videos, go live, do a video, right? Just find a way to put yourself out there and let people know who you are, what you do, and how it is that you can help them. There's an online site called Medium that's free that you can blog on. And then, of course, if you want to go live, you can use social media, you can use YouTube to do your videos and to go live. So that is also an option for you. Another thing, PR. PR is like golden. Too many entrepreneurs don't use PR. The media is dying to feature you. All these places that have been featured, it was for free. I didn't pay a cent. And getting that backing of these top, media houses, even where you are locally, as in on TTT, TV6, Express, Newsday, getting that backing does so much for you because everybody's on the online space right now. And anybody can say that they're an expert. But when you have a back end of a media house, a reputable media house, and that media house says you need to listen to this person because they know what it is that they're saying, people will listen. I promise you that they will. So reach out to the media. Tell them, hey, I have something to share with your audience. I have something to talk about. And if you're not sure how to do that, again, reach out to someone like me. I can tell you what to talk about when you get there because you'll be amazed how much information you have inside of you. You will be amazed how much knowledge you have inside of you that people just don't know and are dying to find out. Just because you know it doesn't mean other people know it as well, right? So be sure to just put yourself out there. And last but not least, look for places and people to collaborate with. There is growth in numbers, as we mentioned before. There is strength in community. Find people to collaborate with, partner with, especially if you share the same audience, right? To grow your business because a lot of people look at collaboration as, oh my God, this person's going to see my ideas and I'm going to end up with the bad end of the stick. And like people have those issues. But if you meet somebody that's on the same level as you and you're going in the same direction and you put things in perspective. Hey, this is what we're going to do together. This is how we're going to split the profits. This is how we're going to do things. Then it's going to work in your favor. And that literally costs $0 to reach out, and you can even barter your services. Again, $0. I have what you want, you have what I want. Let's get together. Let's do this.
Boom. Listener, you have no idea how much you have just validated my work over the last year. Social media, I told my students, when you go, build goodwill,
Yeah.
genuine, share your real self with people.
Yeah.
You just go there advertising, well, I'm in a network, we join my network and I'll be making so much money. No, they've seen it all the time. They don't want to hear that. They want to know, who are you? You talk about blogging. I will send you the first 2 episodes. I hope and I'm the first person that I'm writing my book live on YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah, it's called the Entrepreneur's Handbook. Where, yeah, and it's so funny. The first chapter deals with faith. But
Yes.
listen carefully. Faith is your personal belief system, nothing to do with the church. You have to believe in
Agreed.
you. You have to build self-confidence, self-esteem, self-awareness, become self-assured. You see, a lot of people don't know, Carla, the power that lies within, and there's this sleeping giant called the subconscious mind. So that's what I teach. I'm not teaching you economics, I'm teaching you mathematics. No, I'm teaching you mental awareness, how to use this to tap in within the power you have. Because people operate from the conscious level, and that's why they get caught up in the fancy car, the nice house, clothes, the food, and then they die. People perish for lack of knowledge. So I teach you things that you're not going to get in those fancy schools that are going to talk at you. You have to do all the work, and they say, all right, we could give you a pass here. They did nothing for you. I'm going to bring you out here. And let me tell you, I'm proud to say that one of my students who started with me a year ago, Deborah Filbert, was so shy. Listen to me, 12 months later, she has a talk show beaming in 112 countries around the world.
There
She's
we go. That's how you do it. That is how you do it.
And she has made me so proud. She interviewed me last week. No, a couple of days ago actually, and the reviews. Because I keep saying, and this now is to the men now, because Carla and I we've been talking to the ladies. But let's talk to you guys. You need to be a leader. You need to stand up and account for yourself. You have two children that you are neglecting continuously. Accountability and responsibility.
There
Take
you
ownership
go.
of them and be a real man. Carla girl,
There
it
you
was
go.
just so much fun having you here. This
Thank
was a
you for having me.
listen, and you are my first live guest. Boom! Yes, yes, yes. Hoping to have Pauline next. I sent her the info.
And Pauline
Guys,
is
of course,
fabulous.
we're
She's
going after
fabulous.
Jared. And Lyndon Hassan Ali, that's always been my boy. Because you see, they have the kind of information that my CEOs could use, that is
Yeah.
group. Now, mind you, the actual group is about 9 core people that we're working with, but all our network are their own CEOs because we are Success Factory. We're into cryptocurrency, we're into virtual reality, we're into a thing called bank. Well, let me show you to pay Carla. Imagine I can now take the bits of conversation we have, put into a software program, and break your personality code. I now know how to better approach you for sales.
Of course. It's all
Right?
about
That's something I want
psychology.
to share
Yeah.
with you. I want to share and let you see that. It
It's
is
all about
amazing.
psychology.
Yeah, we are helping our network create wealth through innovation and technology, right? But we are actual acquisition, a customer acquisition company, but we have everything, and it is a beautiful system. So I'm telling you now, guys, she's gonna be back. This can't be done in a one and done. She's gonna be back, and being the first, I'm gonna find the right spot for her. Carla, thank you so much. You have a great afternoon,
Thank you
and
for
I look forward
having
to
me.
doing this with you again. Great.
No problem. Talk soon. Hi, hi. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Everyone on the live, everyone on the replay. Have an awesome afternoon, weekend, whatever. It was great.
Yes, thank you. Well, guys, this has been Network University TNT again, presenting you the CEO's Lounge, and our guest this evening was Carla Williams Johnson. We catch you on the next one. Bye, y'all.